Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our Security Folks webinars, where we bring you the latest insights and best practices from the experts in the field. Our last episode discussed the integration of physical and cybersecurity. Today, we dive deeper into the topics of buildings and facilities protection. Our guests, Drago Labazan and Vladimir von Kendjelic Gorcery, are here to share their expertise and provide you valuable insights into this critical area of security. Drago is director at Comment Adria, and Vladimir is regional sales and business development manager at Datapath. Drago and Vladimir, welcome to our stage.
Hello.
Thank you.
Vladimir, you can hear us as well, I hope.
Yes.
Welcome to our stage. Thank you very much for your time, for joining us today, where we actually discuss the smart building ecosystem and the importance of physical and cybersecurity in this topic. So let's not waste the time. Let's immediately skip on this topic. Let's make some kind of a line between the past and the future and actually the present. So talking about smart buildings, especially in the last 10 years or in the last 2 decades, we have development in every segment of our lives. So basically security and buildings are also developed and evolved into the complex systems, if we can say like that. So considering this, Drago, if you could tell us basically how does the concept, and if you can explain us what is the concept of smart building and how this concept impacted the traditional security measures.
Um, uh, well, uh, good question. It's not easy to answer shortly, but if I would like to put it simple, then partly my answer is included in the also in the question. So smart building security. In difference to how we talked about security of buildings maybe in couple of years or 10 years ago, means that more or less we are talking about a much more integrated system. All technical system, all security systems are interfacing one to each other, starting from the CCTV, fire alarms, public address, access control, and so on. But also, security system is connected to the whole building management system. What that means that planning and manage buildings today means a lot of things through integrated security and all other technical system in the buildings.
Thank you very much, Drago, for this answer. Yesterday, actually, while I was preparing for this topic, I read one article which actually said that if we are making the buildings, actually, these buildings are, they last like 50 years, 100 years, or something like that. But the systems within that one are actually, they last and they have a guarantee around 10 years to 15 years or even less. So basically, the issue is how actually to make how to fill in the gap between these, in these 40 or more years in this one. So this is for sure, I think, opportunity. Again, when you want to upgrade the system, doesn't matter is it security or WAC or energy management system, doesn't matter. I think this is an opportunity to let's say to upgrade and to make it smarter, that building. Okay, so going in the future, Vladimir, question for you. So basically, what are the emerging trends? Talking about the present, and actually, what are actually the future directions when it comes to smart building security?
Yeah, what's the future? I think what I see is that the most things are moving very towards IP solutions, that everything is going over networks. It's much easier to handle it. And this is the point where we come to the situation that we can have control of all these systems on a video wall or in a control room where you can put everything together because it's everything on IP. I think in future it will be much more based this and a lot of things which are still on some standard cable solutions will move away and will switch to an IP solution so that everything will be much easier. On the other side, we have to look much more over the security in the networks which we will use in the future. And this will be for sure the main point what we have to look in the future, less the thing about new functionalities or about how to use the systems itself. It will be more the point and the question about how secure is my network, how can I control all the systems over one point, because you have a lot of systems, you have a lot of, in future, much more IT systems behind the automation, and you have to control this on a best situation on one place with one operator to have an overview over everything.
Thank you very much. Vladimir, you mentioned moving away like cables. What does it mean? We are switching to IP only, or?
Yes, I think in future we will have all the systems IP based. Standard cabling in the past, most people know door openers as a simple, the most unique used system in automation, have been based on the two cables, and I think this will move in future everything to IP because it's easier to handle. You can have the camera pictures included. You have more functionalities than over two cables. So I think in future we will have everything over IP.
Great, thank you very much. Vladimir, Datapath is actually known for their one great solution. It's Adria control room. And I believe that actually every bigger building should have and must have actually control room. So can you share with us what's new in Datapath and to share us more insights about Adria and what is it about?
Yeah, sure. Let me start there. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, short intro to Datapath. Datapath exists now since 1982. We have a little bit more than 140 people globally. The most people are in England, in the headquarters, in the R&D and operations. But we also have offices in USA and UK. We are now for a long time on the market. We have a lot of experience with control room solutions and control room parts. And we have installations, meanwhile, in over than 100 countries, all over all continents, meanwhile. Our major business is command and control in security, defense, utilities, transportation, whatever sector you look. We also have digital signage, we have corporate AV installations, we have medical, education, live events. So we are in the most parts where you need something like a control room or something similar. Main business, video capture cards, graphic solutions, especially made for control room. So everything is 24/7 and with a lot of years of functionality for the single product. I'm going a little bit fast because the HR is the most interesting. We have our own wall controllers for very different solutions, different sizes, so we can make it like you need it. With I said, different sizes, so we can do whatever is needed. As you see, maximum is 96 Full HD outputs or 24 4K outputs. We are still, in this case, one of the biggest in the market. Yeah, and Adria. Adria is a solution based on IP. It's not only a video wall, it operator places, it includes a KVM system. It's an integrated design to configure, operate, and diagnostic software solution inside of a control room, so that you have not only all sources you can see and use on the operator places and on the video wall at the same time. Yeah, why Adria? Simply the freedom to design the right solution. A single integrated platform from the design over managing and control of workstations, video walls, sources, different types of connectivity, whatever you want. We have for almost everything an input possibility. You can show any source on any screen inside of the solution, even on different locations. Simple control for the operator. It's a click and drop solution, the most functionalities. So it's easy to learn and not a long time. You don't need a long time to come into the system. Yeah, we have a built-in monitoring and security for peace of mind. This is a simple show how an Adria is working. You have the IP network with 10G and 1G solution. You have an SSG. This is a secure streaming gateway for connecting outside locations, for example. You can use whatever source you have, if it would be cameras, workstations, media players, any AV signals, even servers, workstations. You can connect to the system and you can show it on the video walls. You can show it on the operator workstations or operator places with KVM, so you even can control the systems directly from the operator place. We have integrated monitoring diagnostics. This is, I think, the most interesting part when you look on technical side. It helps to see which device is working, which is not working, which input is maybe faulty, so you can look after the cameras or whatever is standing behind it. So it's not only to control the Adria system and see what's happening with the Adria system, you even can have a view on some of the third-party systems, which we are constantly adding to our system so that more and more things can be controlled and diagnostics made by the system itself. From the side of the security, I think this is what the future will make a difference. The secure streaming gateway is the possibility to connect outside locations. If you don't have a direct connection, for example, a fiber cable between the locations, and you go over a public connection over internet, then you can use the SSG to have a fully secured connection to your control room. On the other side, everything inside of our Adria system is AES encrypted, so that you have the biggest possible security at the moment, with a turnkey, with a constantly changing key. So it's very difficult to come inside it and to offer you the most possible security in your system, to be not vulnerable to the outside. Adria is the big solution. If you have a really small need, we still have our wall control 10 software. This is the wall control system, which is included into the Adria system. It's here a standalone system where you have simple video wall controls, but you don't have KVM and you don't have integrated operator places. So it's mostly used for one operator situations with really small walls. We are offering different customer care services, a premium service, commissioning, extended warranties, trainings, advanced web out. We can train you directly in Derby, in our headquarter. We can train you on your site, on your system, however you want it. We're offering premium service with different SLA, so we can fit to the most things what customers need. In addition to that, what an system integrator is offering additionally to this. Yeah, short overview about Datapath and Adria. Adria is, I say, for maybe bigger installations or installations where you need a lot of operators or you have a lot of systems to control and you want to have a KVM connection to the single systems, that you can control them, that you can work directly on them if they bring a fault. So depending what you want, what you need, we have to talk about it and to find the perfect solution for you.
Thank you very much, Vladimir, for this introduction about Datapath and about Adria and all other actually products that you have in your portfolio as a company. So I also advise all of our audience to interact with our presenters, to ask the questions if you and also if you want, you can also ask the questions later in this webinar or after the webinar. Now moving to Drago. Drago is actually coming from Comment. Comment is also known as a manufacturer of products for critical communication in buildings, if I can say like this, like that, if you allow me, Drago. We also would like to know something more about the comment, but before that, Drago, a question for you. So basically, talking about the challenges in integrating physical and cybersecurity within the smart building ecosystem, what are actually these main challenges, if you can point out for our audience?
Well, talking about security today, of course, more and more we should consider cybersecurity as well. I think for our audience, it is not necessary to explain why. But the challenge is today almost everyone talk about cybersecurity, but it is not always clear what does cybersecurity means. That's first, and second. It is very important really to when we build and when we talk about integrated security system, to rely on companies who are organized in the way to comply with cybersecurity, but also which have the products which integrate into itself all recommendation and standards which are today necessary to be included in the products and solution. I would say that still today cybersecurity is hot topic, but there is not too much experience when we talk about technicians, engineers, and especially end customers. And I think the most important what we must do as a professional in the field of security, actually to build awareness on the customer sides that even the most sophisticated technical system without security is not good enough. And I think it is the first and most important step what we must done.
Thank you very much, Drago. I also agree with you that actually increasing threats from cybersecurity field are important and they should be considered, but also from the physical security. Nevertheless, let's go to see what is actually new in comment, and if you could share with us the screen, and let's see what are those products that you have for the smart buildings?
Yeah, okay, thank you very much. I hope that you can see my screen now.
I
Well,
confirm.
okay, so I must tell you that I will not talk too much about really products. I will try to introduce you with our approach, with our philosophy, with our goal. So what we are doing, because products can be found, of course, on website, but the most important is, I believe, to understand what command is actually doing. Talking about building security, it is very a wide range of topic. We can talk about solution activities and so on and so on and so on. But today it is hot topic, and I believe we are all surrounded with very different information from the media to the webinars regarding the security, cyber security, critical communication system, and so on and so on and so on. But I would say, when we talk about security, any security, but also building security, then it's always the most important and first step to make risk assessments. So, very simply put, responsible people must think about which risk are possible to happen in particular situation, and based on that risk assessment, to prepare actually emergency plans. And based on emergency plans, there are actually two topics. One are technical solutions like CCTV, fire alarms, access control system, and so on and so on. But even more important of that is a procedure which must be done by responsible persons and services to successfully manage potentially risk situation. In that terms, what I would focus on my presentation in today is just one maybe small part of building security system. It is something what we call, and what is generally the name for intercom standard in buildings. It is ASBIS, as you see, Advanced Security Building Intercom Standard, which is actually one try or approach how to integrate security and communication system. Because what we really absolutely believe in is that any security system, however it is advanced, without integrated communication, it is not good enough. Because if nothing more, in all danger situation, in potential risky situation, people are that who make decision and who coordinate whole procedure, and without the professional, reliable communication system, it is not possible. In that terms, most probably you have heard, I will just mention it. Today we have a building intercom standard. It is actually IEC 62820, which is actually a set of standards to make buildings safer. And this is a standard which actually guide the responsible people how to integrate also communication in the other technical security system. In that terms, I can say that ASBIS become an essential component of any building security solution. Some other terms for that you have all probably heard. It is for instance, EDRS, Emergency and Danger Response System, EOP, Emergency of Operation Plan, and so on and so on. So terminology is still not completely defined, but what I can here summarize at this point of my presentation is that we have now family of recommendation where some parts of that recommendation actually guide how to plan, install, what functionality must be when we talk about communication system, and how communication system should be integrated with the other system which belongs to security of the buildings. Key benefits and the biggest challenge of ASBIS is to have communication system in the building, which is in a normal and standard daily life, backup for daily routines, for everyday life. But in emergency situation, the same system, not something, not some different additional system, the same system became actually a system and part of emergency response management system. In that terms, Command has developed something what we call unified security platform, which shortly is actually our philosophy. What does it mean? I'm not talking about products. Command is actually platform for integration, where either Command itself or even more in integration through interfaces with some other system, we can integrate access control communication, mobile communication, lift communication, public address, and so on and so on. And one part also can be included in what my colleague before me mentioned. It is a security management unit, or better to say, we have solution for control rooms where people through our system have one integrated communication system, means intercom, telephony, radio communication, public address, but also interfaces to the other security systems like CCTV, fire alarms, access control, and so on and so on. So, as I said, in daily operation, we have system which is a backup for all what people are doing through everyday life in normal situation. But in danger situation, the same system help staff and emergency services to coordinate and to manage potentially risky situation. Well, here is just one example how it can looks like. Just one of the terminal which is in normal daily routine terminal for communication within building. In emergency situation, automatically turns in the terminals for displaying or guiding people inside building to help in emergency situation. Some slides I will skip. So, in sunny days, it's intercom for all routine operation, but in storm days, in crisis situation, it becomes EDRS or emergency danger response. What does it mean? When we talk about some potentially risky situation, we always must prevent something. We always must alarm something, verify some alarms. We have some action. We must de-escalate situation, and we must review a situation after danger situation. In all that steps, communication is essential part for security staff. Going to the end, I will mention just a couple of words about cybersecurity. When we talk about cybersecurity, then it's important to know that we can talk about actually two levels of security. First is that we must talk about cybersecurity as a company. So company must be certified or organized according to some rules and some certification, and the other things is products. Command is certified with two very important certificate. One is 27001, which is actually which talk about information security management system. I will not go deeply into this. And second is ISO 62443, which is talking about product development requirements. Command is proud to say that we have both certificate, and actually it means that security is actually in our blood, and our motto is security by design. Our product, but our company is organized to prove our partners and our customers that our products and our solutions are based on the most important and the most advanced technology parameters which are necessary to be included in the company and the products to be cybersecurity, I would say, ready. You see, what does it mean? I will not go deeply into that. If there are any questions, I will be glad to answer or to discuss further in the webinar. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Drago, for this insightful presentation and giving us the insights about the comment about actually your approach to security and cyber security. You mentioned already. I planned to ask you about these regulations. So, and you already mentioned some of them. But are there any other specific regulations or standards governing the security requirements for the smart building ecosystem?
Well, um, as I mentioned in the beginning, there are I would say much more maybe rules and standards, but I will focus on what we are doing, means communication. So in that terms, I think the first what the partners or customers should check is it company or our partner really organized in the way which follows the rules to be cyber secured. So it means to certificate what I mentioned in my presentation. 27001 is very important, and 62443 is something what is another one which confirmed that the products are developed with all necessary technology and cybersecurity parameters in mind. About some other protocols and some other standards which are valid for other solutions like CCTV and fire alarms and something like that. So I'm not really deep in that, and maybe this is the topic for some other presentation.
Sure, thank you, Drago. Thank you actually for this answer, Vladimir. Vlado actually talk about specific regulations in this field. I will ask you about the strategies, but before that, actually, I would like to ask you about the control rooms, as basically you are a provider of these products for the control rooms. Basically, does a smart building really needs control rooms, and what actually factors should be considered when creating one?
Difficult to answer. You have two different situations with control rooms. On the one side, as Drago explained, you are using the solution of the building automation to show the cameras, to show the intercoms. Even a lot of control rooms in high security areas are using intercoms for their doors, so that not everyone can enter the control room directly. So you have to identify before you can enter it, and someone has to open. So you have on the one side this building automation as a part of the daily use in a control room. On the other side, you have the situation that you have technical monitoring control rooms. So this means these control rooms are made directly to control all the systems which are in a building. So all the servers, networks, electricity connectors, and so on. So you have a control room who is really designed only for that, to have all this technology which is standing behind automated buildings under control, that you can react, that you can see where you have to send a technician, where you have to order parts maybe for something is defective. So you have these two situations with a control room, and so it depends if you have the control room only as a part of the automated system, where you have a security guard sitting inside who is watching the cameras, who is reacting on everything what's happening around the cameras and alarms which will come. On the other side, you have the control room who is watching the building automation itself and the technology behind it to be in a situation that you can react very fast on any fault or error which happens inside of the system, independent if it's one fully integrated system or if you have separate systems for some of the solutions. In such a control room, you can bring all this together and watch this. So it's two things, two sides of using a control room with building automation.
Thank you very much, Vladimir. As mentioned before, Drago talked about these specific regulations. I would like to ask you about strategies for the organization. So basically, if you can outline what are the strategies for the smart building ecosystems, basically to be resilient against physical or cyber threats.
Yeah, this is on the one side, as Drago has mentioned, the future, what you have to look on it is absolutely the point of cybersecurity. This is the point where we have, even in control rooms, the biggest issues in the future to solve. One thing is for sure to have, for example, an internal network which is not connected to the outside. This is one of the points where you can use, or where cybersecurity is not a big issue if you have a closed environment, which is only looking after internal systems without a connection to the outside. If you have connections to the outside, then you are coming into the situation how to prevent any intrusion into your system. So we're talking a lot about IT security, which you have to need firewalls, special gateways, very well configured network switches, clearly regulated way of working. What are you allowed? What you're not allowed? What can you use? Restrictions on the internet use. And on the other side, if you have big buildings, or if you have big areas which you have to control with several control rooms, is always the question how to connect them without being afraid of an external attack. So because we are moving more and more to IP or to total IP solutions, the focus is clearly securing the systems from the outside. The easiest way is if you have no internet, then it's much easier. You have a closed environment, which you can very easily control. But if you have internet connection, you have to look how you can secure this. One way is to have an internal encryption in your system that encrypts all the network connections you have and all the data transfers which you are using. On the other side, you have to look to have as less as possible connections to the outside. And if you have them, then you really highly secure them with modern and up-to-date systems. This is very important.
Thank you very much, Vladimir. I'm sorry. We talked about these cyber threats. We talked about the regulations, and we talked about the strategies. Drago, what would be actually the consequence in case that we neglect some of these strategies, or actually, in general, these recommendations? No matter if you are talking about cybersecurity or physical security. So, what could be the potential consequence in neglecting of these?
Yeah, this is good one, and even if you are not a specialist in security, but there are a couple of things which are unfortunately very clear. We are living in the world which became more and more unsecured. And it is not just because of some let's say criminal or something like that, but even everyday situation is potentially more and more risky. When you look at the buildings, what we are talking today, the buildings became more and more complex, more and more products, items integrated together. In that situation, even in everyday life, because of a lot of possible faults we can be done, we can happen because of I don't know reasons, can cause very serious problems for the people within buildings, but also in society. We are also witnesses about situation where we are not talking just about some products like cameras and so on and so on. Also, IoT is today something what is a part of our life. And once again, very simple put, what also I think Vladimir mentioned. Even if you are not really clever with some simple points like portaphone on the door or the gates, all that points could become a door for some unauthorized or criminal access. And when you ask me about consequences, I think it is very important that people who are responsible for shaping security should follow the standards, should really think about protocols, about the rules. Once again, simply put, if I would be managing director or security guy who is responsible for security in, for instance, hospitals or some utility companies like electricity production, water treatment, and so on, I would not sleep well if I would not take into the account recommendation for security. What is the problem? And I will finish with that. The problem is that all the things are developing very fast, and it is not easy for the people who deals with security to be always on the top with the knowledge, with the skills, and that's why all we who are, I I would say, specialist in some parts which maybe build security should be very close to the planners, to the architect, to the end customers, really to build that awareness of what technology today means and why should they take care about security on the top level.
Thank you very much, Drago. I would agree actually with you that regarding the fast development of the products and new solutions. So basically, something that is new today becomes old tomorrow, if we can say like that. Uh, we also have these new technologies like AI or IoT. So basically, how actually, Drago, these technologies can enhance the physical or cyber security within the smart building.
Yeah, it is not easy one, but all solutions always have two sides. On one side, of course, both what you mentioned, IoT and artificial intelligence can help us a lot, but also on the other side, it can be a source of the problem. What is quite easy to understand is when we talk about IoT, using IoT on very wide range of points help us to get a lot of information. Challenge is, of course, how to deal with all that information, how to use them, and so on and so on. But on the other hand, it's also a potential risk. All of the points is potentially, once again, door for someone who want to make something illegal, to make some criminals, and so on and so on. That's why, once again, when we design our system, we should always follow the best possible practice, the best possible rules regarding physical security and regarding cyber security to avoid as much as possible situation where particular points can be entered or could be a door to someone to cause some problem in inside our system. Talking about artificial intelligence, it is something what is a new phenomenon in our life, but is developing very fast, maybe too fast. But what I would say, if someone of you maybe like to see a little bit more comment, we as comment also developed something what we call a virtual assistant, and what can be a part of what Vladimir described in his discussion about what can be part of control rooms to help staff to deals with a lot of information and to deal with coordination in potentially risky situation. Very simple and short. If you imagine control room, especially in emergency situation, it means a lot incoming information and a lot of procedure which must be done within short time to deal with the risk. In all that situation, artificial intelligence assistant different type can help to process information which come to control room, but also to prepare the steps, the measures based on that information, how to deal with different situation. Our solution, what we call IV, it's virtual assistant, which is doing actually that, and more information either through in the discussion later, or you can find it on Convent website.
Drago, thank you very much for this answer. Maybe Vladimir, what if you could tell us what is actually your approach, your perspective in Datapath when talking about AI technology and about IoT?
Regarding IoT, we have this very often in control rooms for manufacturers, where you have to overlook all the machines and production lines. So this is something that we have to deal since several years in such special control rooms. So this is not so new for us. What is new is the AI question and the situation about the AI and how to implement this into control rooms. As Drago said, the number of informations is growing and growing and growing, especially if some alarm or something comes in. You have a huge number of informations coming to the operators which have to deal with it. In this point, an AI would help to pre-select some things, to push some of these events to special operators who can look after that. I think there we will have in a few years starting some AI systems which will help to clean up this huge mass of information coming in such a critical situation. At the moment, I see from the customer, especially from end user side, not so much interest to do this because the people are still not so safe to give an AI the decision about what is important and what is not important. I think this will show with the time when the systems get better, when we have the first AI systems in some non-critical parts of industry and real life, and we see this is working on an acceptable level. I think this is the point where it will start to come to control rooms or even in any critical technology for security. This will be a discussion in a few years, but at the moment I don't see it because I'd say the market is not accepting at the moment is the point that an AI system should make the pre-selection, especially not in security questions.
Thank you very much, Vladimir. Okay, we are actually finishing up our webinar. We are closing actually time to up to 3. Basically, some of your last words when it comes to security or cybersecurity in smart building ecosystem. Actually, what would be the thing to highlight when talking about the buildings? Or maybe better question for you. You can consider both of these. What are actually the most challenging part ahead when it comes to these smart buildings? Is that maybe residential buildings or critical infrastructure or some industrial buildings? What would be your point when it comes to this topic? Maybe Drago?
Yeah, shortly, potential risk is everywhere, starting from our home, our phone, but of course, the most important consequences for society, for all of us, is if something happened in the so-called emergency infrastructure, what is actually term which is in focus today's and nowadays. All facilities, all companies, all organizations which are dealing especially with utilities for us. So electricity production, water treatment, hospitals. It is really a field where people who take care about security must take the measure very fast. Once again, we are aware of the time where we are living. Day after day, situation became more and more serious, more and more danger somehow. And unfortunately, I don't believe, and most probably you agree, that we can expect that it it will become better in the future time. The biggest challenge, once again, is that the technology became more and more complex. What is good on one way, we can do more and more every day. But I think that the problem is today on the people who are responsible. It is not easy to deal with all that information, all that regulation, and so on and so on. And once again, we who are more specialized for particular parts must do much more to develop that ideas, that knowledge, which will help the people who are responsible.
Thank you very much, Drago. Vladimir, what would be actually your advice for our organization when considering smart buildings and security within these ecosystems?
Yeah, it's very similar. It's more and more informations which are collected, and more things are automated still today. If you look how many remote controls you have for different things, opening doors, opening gates, whatever you want. Um, this is for sure one thing that you have more and more systems which you have to overwatch in around the building, in the building. And the situation is not getting better or peacefuler, to say it this way. So you will have in future much more requests about security and how to handle this, and it will be the point how to concentrate this on one point so that you don't have 10 locations where you have someone sitting. And again, you have the question about interrupted communications, for example. I think it will be more and more concentrated in one room, somewhere central in the building or central in the area that you want to control. And I think this will be the future point, that we have much more requests regarding security and watching over it, especially because the situation is it's more and more informations that are collected around security.
Thank you very much, Vladimir. Thank you, Drago, once more. Thank you for your time and providing these insights to our audience. Of course, to all our audience, thank you very much for coming today, for listening to our experts, Drago Labazan. He's actually comment Adria director, and Vladimir von Kendjelic Gorcery. He's a regional sales and business development manager for Adria region and for that region. Please make sure that it's like that. Vladimir, I believe that I'm correct with your title.
Thank you.
As you can see in the upper right corner, we have new logo 200 ANS Adria. Basically, this logo is actually dedicated to our 200 issues of ANS Adria, our monthly publication. So basically, this is more than 15 years of our work, and basically it will be in May. We will celebrate. Stay tuned for this one, and actually stay tuned for other webinars that are coming soon on April 18 with Team Viewer. So thank you very much once more for your time, and looking forward to see you again in this webinar.
Thank you.